Mom, we're here! Oh, that's good. You haven't eaten yet, have you? I've got dinner all ready for you. Go and wash your hands and let's eat. I'll set the table, Mom. Just let me wash my hands a second and I'll be back. You must be exhausted from moving house. I know how much hard work that involves. Just sit down a minute. I'll do it. No, it's fine, Mom. The removal men did most of the work anyway. You must have been on your feet all day. Sit down and let me help out. Thank you, Evie. Mom, I've brought this for you to use. We don't need it, so I thought you could get some use out of it. Oh, really? What is it? It's an air purifier. We've hardly used it, so it's almost new. Is it really okay for me to have it? It looks expensive. And if it's almost new as well. Oh, it's fine, Mom. It's too small for our new house, you see, so we've bought a bigger one. Oh, that's okay then. You've finished moving now, haven't you? Have you finished sorting out all your things now as well? Yes, it's all done now. I don't know if it's just because our new place is bigger or something, but it took us half a day just to clean it. It was exhausting, you know. My back hurt so much from cleaning the new place. Is your new place that big? I told you, it's pretty big. It's close to twice the size of our old one. Wow, that is big, isn't it? You'll have so much room living in a huge place like that. Just the two of you. Yes, to tell you the truth, it feels like a soccer pitch or something after being squashed together in that tiny place for so long. You've done really well for yourself, Kev. Won't it feel a bit empty if it's that big, though? If we're going to have children, it needs to be at least that big for us to have room. I guess so. Your new place is a proper place to raise a family, isn't it? I'm quite worried about Tom and Kathy, you know. Ugh, if he'd married someone who was successful like Evie, he would have come to his senses. He's the eldest. He should have thought a bit more carefully before choosing to marry her. Do you know how proud I feel to have married someone like Evie and have moved into a big place like this? You must be very proud. I can't believe where Tom is living now. I can't rest peacefully thinking of them all in that awful place. It must be so uncomfortable for them all. They have no skill and no money. Why did they decide to have so many kids? It doesn't make sense. Did they really need as many as 3? I love having a lot of grandchildren. Maybe you could have 3 children as well. Well, we could have 4 or even 5 if we wanted to. We have the money to take care of them. I'll end up taking on the role of the eldest son if it carries on like this. I guess so. You're doing a lot better than he is anyway. Mom, let's eat. Okay. Evie, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what I'd have to smile about. Thank you so much for all that you've done for my family. You're too sweet. I'm not joking either. Tom and his family are in a tiny little place struggling to make ends meet. Thank you for making it possible for at least you and Kev to live like you do. I'm sure it'll get easier for Tom and his family when the kids get a bit older. Tom's up for promotion soon too, isn't he? Even if he does, the salary he's on as a government worker can only increase so much. If Kathy isn't going to work, they're always going to have to raise 3 kids on one tiny wage. It'll be difficult for them for life if they keep on the way that they are at the moment. It may get a bit easier to look after them and maybe for Kathy to get a job when they get older. But kids cost more money the older they get, in my experience, anyway. Oh, I see. You two keep doing what you're doing, though. I feel a bit better knowing that at least you two are doing well. Of course we will, Mom. Evie's parents have a lot of money, so there's no way that they'll let us go under. Isn't that right, Evie? Be quiet and eat your dinner. See? Rich girls are even cute when they're mad. Oh, wow! Your new place really is magnificent, isn't it? I didn't expect it to be anywhere near this nice or this big, if I'm honest. You really must be something special, Evie, to have been able to buy somewhere like this. No, I'm not really. It's a bit embarrassing, you saying things like that to me. Of course you are! You don't have to be modest about things like this, you know. Other people couldn't make a claim to somewhere like this even if they really wanted to. You should get all that you are able to while you still have the chance to. Okay, Mom. I wish you wouldn't go on about me being rich all the time, though. Anyway, it's my parents that are rich, not me. This house is in your name only, though, isn't it? Yes, it's in my name. My parents bought it for us, you see. If it was bought with my money that I had saved myself, I'd have thought about getting both of our names on the paperwork. But as it was my parents that bought it, I had no choice. Well, your parents' money will end up as your money one day anyway, won't it? I'm glad that Kev gets to live in a gorgeous place like this. But as it isn't in his name, it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. What? Why isn't it his house? It doesn't matter whose name is on the paperwork. It's the space that the two of us have chosen to live in, isn't it? You wouldn't understand. Only someone whose name has been left off the paperwork could understand this feeling. It must feel like he's living there on borrowed time. You could just tell him to leave and he wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Why don't you ask Kev what he really feels about it all sometime? I bet he will agree with me. Oh, okay, Mom, I will. How much does a place this size cost, anyway? It wasn't as expensive as you might think. Well, it still must be a lot for someone like me. I would have liked to get you a house when you married, you know. But I guess you could get a much better place than I ever could anyway. I'm really impressed that my Kev was able to marry into such an amazing family. Mom, stop it. You're embarrassing me again. It's okay for me to come and visit from time to time, isn't it? It wouldn't make you too uncomfortable. Oh, that would be fine, Mom. You must be lonely being in the house by yourself all the time. We could have lunch together sometimes. Would that really be okay? Thank you so much. Evie, are you in? Oh, hello again, Mom. Come in. I finished a bit early today. I was only here yesterday. I came back a bit too soon, didn't I? No, it's fine. I told you it was okay for you to come here when you wanted to. Still, I thought that it would be a bit rude coming empty-handed, so I've made you some food to put in your freezer. Food? You didn't have to do that. You could have just turned up. I made some dishes that you like so that you can put them in the freezer and eat them when you have no time or energy to make a proper meal, you see. I didn't really know what to make, so I called Kev and asked him. But to be honest, he didn't seem really sure either. Do you want to see? Wow, you have made a lot. That looks amazing. You really didn't have to do all of this, but thank you so much. I'll have lots to choose from now, won't I? All my favorite meals are there. Really? That's lucky. If there's anything that you want to eat, you make sure that you call me and let me know, okay? Your parents live a long way away, so it'll be hard for your mom to make things for you even if she wanted to. Thank you, Mom. It should be me taking care of you, not the other way around like this. It's fine. You don't need to worry about me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself, you know. And anyway, you're looking after my Kev like this. How could I possibly expect you to take care of me as well? You don't have to do anything for me. What you are doing for Kev is plenty. Excuse me? Even so, I'll try to be a better daughter-in-law to you. I wasn't joking, you know. You're doing plenty. I have another daughter-in-law for all that after all. Kathy, on the other hand, has to behave like a good daughter-in-law so I can at least get that out of her. She's useless at everything else. Her family don't have any money. That's such a burden on the man too, you know. Even so, she tries her best, doesn't she? It can't be easy bringing up 3 kids now, can it? I know. She has 2 daughters and 1 son as well. If she was going to have 3 kids, she should have had 3 sons. My poor Tom. I feel so sorry for him, you know. The eldest son has to be happy and energetic for the whole family to do well, you know. Still, Tom is the most hardworking person I know. The way I see it, he really is top husband material. You can only see things like that because you can afford to. Do you know how much the 2 of them fight? Kathy is always getting mad at him and wearing him down for not making enough money, you know. Oh, I see. She doesn't seem the type to fight like that. If she doesn't have enough money to buy a house like you did when you married into the family, then she should at least be nice and kind to her husband, shouldn't she? I really don't understand how she could possibly treat my son like that. I'm sure that she has her reasons. We can't possibly know everything that goes on under her roof now, can we? Reasons? Tom should be living in a lovely big place like this too, but he's in a tiny little place even though there are 5 of them in his family. They only even have 1 room. How could you possibly live like that with 3 kids as well? It doesn't even make any sense. House prices in the city have got pretty ridiculous lately, you know. Even so, it must be so cramped and stuffy living like that. You're right. I feel really sorry for Kathy sometimes as well, you know. She married Tom when she was still really young, and I was really hard on her, you know. I did it because she wasn't really very pretty or anything. But to be honest, I felt really sorry for her seeing as she doesn't even have any parents or anything. I think I was trying to make her pull herself together and get on with things, really. But I said some very harmful things to her back then. Oh, I see. If I was able to, I would have at least helped Tom and Kathy out with a house. But to be honest, I'm no better off than they are myself. I don't really have the right to say anything about how much money they have or don't have. I wish I could sell the house I'm living in at the moment and give them the money from it so that they could get somewhere better and be able to live a better life with their children. Shall I just sell it? Excuse me? How can you just sell your house? You didn't have to sound so shocked. You're scared that I'm going to try to move in with you, right? Oh, no, that's not it. Don't worry. That isn't what I was planning to do. I'm a bit hurt by your reaction, though. So you're saying that I'm not welcome to move into this lovely house, are you? It's just that I've never even considered living with you before. That's all. I'm joking. To be honest, I like living alone anyway. It'd be okay if I have my dinner here with the 2 of you tonight, wouldn't it? Yes, sure, Mom. That sounds nice. Hello? Hello, Evie. It's me. Hello, Mom. Is anything the matter? Oh, it's nothing like that. I've just phoned to let you know that I've arrived at your house before you. Oh, okay. Would you be able to wait for me a while, please? I haven't quite finished work yet, you see. Sure, it's fine. Take your time. I'll get on with making dinner. You don't have to do that, Mom. Just sit down and watch some TV or something. No, it's fine. I don't want to be rude. Come to think of it, am I already being rude? I'm coming to your place too often, aren't I? No, it's fine. Thank you for saying that, even though you might not actually feel that way. I feel like I'm living here already. I seem to be spending more time here than I do at home these days. Maybe me moving in would be better? Pardon? It's a joke! You never do seem to be able to tell if I'm joking or not. Anyone can tell that she's serious. She's making jokes like that a bit too often for my liking. Anyway, send me a message when you're on your way back from work and I'll make sure to have dinner ready for you. Okay, Mom, I will. Thanks again!
Evie! The exercise equipment that you ordered arrived today. I'm sure my body will be amazing in no time thanks to the great quality gym equipment you bought me.
Oh, that's good.
What's the matter? Has something happened?
No, why?
You don't look very happy, that's all.
Oh, I've just got something on my mind, that's all.
What is it? You can tell me. Husband and wives are supposed to share things that are worrying them, you know.
It's just something your mom said earlier, that's all.
Mom? What did she say to you?
She's really acting like she wants to move in with us. She keeps saying it's a joke, so it could be nothing, I guess. But it's just the feeling I'm getting from what she's saying and how she's acting, that's all. She seems to keep dropping hints about it.
What? My mom? Mom doesn't like living with other people. She's always said that she's much happier living on her own. That's the main reason why Tom and I moved out as soon as we turned 20.
That's what I thought, but she's been acting really strangely recently. I'm not annoyed about how much time she's spending around ours at the moment. I don't mind that at all. But all she seems to talk about recently is moving in, so I guess it's made me a bit nervous, that's all.
You don't have to worry about that. You're probably just feeling a little sensitive recently. What with the stress of moving house and everything. That'll be what's happened.
You think so, right? She's not seriously thinking about selling her house and moving in here with us, is she?
Of course she isn't. What would it matter anyway if she did end up living with us for a while? She's not the type of person to boss you around or make you do all the housework and the cooking and everything like that. She just wouldn't have it in her.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
I was joking. Don't be so serious all the time. Anyway, it'll never happen, so you don't have to worry about it.
Still, you should tell things like they are. Why on earth wouldn't Mom make me do everything around the house? She told me herself that she gave Kathy a really hard time when she first got married and made her do everything.
Oh, that was only because when she married into our family, she had nothing. Mom was just making her do all the housework and stuff to pay back the cost of the wedding and things like that. Mom had no choice but to treat her that way.
See? That sounds really ridiculous to me. So that means if I didn't have any money, Mom would treat me the same as she treated Kathy back then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess she would have. But you have money, don't you? Mom didn't have to pay for the whole of our wedding like she did Tom and Kathy's. As long as you don't go bankrupt or shame the family in any way, there's no reason for Mom to act that way towards you.
Oh, okay. That's lucky then, I guess.
Let's stop talking about this now, and I'll show you around my new home gym. A lot of the equipment has already arrived, so it's looking quite impressive, you know.
It's nice for us all to get together like this sometimes, isn't it? It's a lot more fun when you have quite a big family, isn't it? Yes, it is, Mom. Evie, why aren't you answering me? Aren't you listening? Oh, are you uncomfortable being squashed into such a small place with all these people? Is that it? Pardon? Oh, no, Mom, that's not it. Yes, it is nice having such a big family. It's only normal that you feel a bit claustrophobic here. I mean, your house is the size of a soccer field, isn't it? It must feel so tiny and stuffy here for you. Especially as we have a house full, too. Mom, I don't understand why you're speaking like this. You don't have to go on about my house like that all the time. I'm right, though. Don't you think, Kathy? Of course, Mom. You're really lucky, you know, Evie. Our place is a lot smaller than this even, and we've got 3 kids as well. There's no point in trying to be modest about it in front of Mom and I either, because we both know very well what kind of a house you live in. Oh, I guess so. But there's no need to go on about it all the time like that. Are you still looking for a place to move to? Yes, we are. I think we should be able to afford somewhere with 2 rooms this time, you know? Oh, really? I guess you've managed to save at least a bit of money then. Oh, Kathy, are you thinking of moving house? Yes, it seems like we're about to come into some money, you see. Really? That's good. I guess Tom was putting money into a savings account or something then. No, that's not it. I guess the world just felt sorry for us and decided to help us out a bit. Excuse me? What do you mean? Never mind. Even if we do end up moving house, it's going to be nowhere near as big as yours, so you don't have to worry about that. Pardon? Why would I be worried about something like that? I'd be glad you had some space. I guess I just thought that you wouldn't like it if we were in competition with you, being such a poor family and all. Whatever are you talking about? I'd never think such a thing. I'm joking. Mom was right. Why do you take everything so seriously all the time? Kathy, you shouldn't joke around like that with Evie, you know. She's from such a rich family that she doesn't get jokes from the likes of us. I'm so jealous. I wonder if I could come from a rich family too in my next life. How amazing would that be? What on earth is wrong with the 2 of them? Why are they saying things like this like I'm not even here? Anyway, I told you that Evie's new place was 132 meters square, didn't I? It has loads of rooms, too. I bet it'd still seem roomy even if me and your whole family moved in there as well. Excuse me? See, I told you, didn't I? She can't take a joke. Everything's always so serious with her. Still, it makes me feel a bit sad when she reacts like that. I don't know why she thinks it's so bad for me to joke about us moving in together, you know. Even though you can't afford more than that tiny little house for your huge family, she still doesn't even think to offer to let you stay even for a little while.
Wow, I really can't believe you, Evie. If it was me living in a huge house like that, I wouldn't have made Mom live on her own. I'm not joking either. If it was me, I'd have let Mom move in with me. You have enough space, don't you? I don't see why you won't let Mom move in with you. I'm sure she'd be no trouble.
Kathy is so kind. She doesn't have anything, but she'd give you the world. I don't mean that she doesn't have anything at all. It's really hard to be so kind and warm-hearted as Kathy is.
Mom, stop it now. You're embarrassing me with all of your praise.
When are you planning to move anyway, Kathy?
Quite soon, I think. I don't know if I'll be able to invite you over when we do move, though. I don't think you'll be able to really notice the difference with the place we're in now, you see. To be honest, having even an extra room would be amazing. But you have all that space already, so our place will always seem small and pokey to you.
They both really do have an inferiority complex, don't they? I guess this is why they say those kind of people are a bit scary. Oh, I wonder what Mom's shoes are doing here. It's a bit late for her to be here. I wonder how long she's been here. She usually calls to tell me that she's arrived at our place.
I don't need a big room, you know. This small one is already a lot bigger and nicer than the one I have at the moment anyway.
Even so, it's only right for the oldest person to have the biggest room, isn't it? We'd be uncomfortable too if you didn't.
I guess you might be, yes. I can't believe my bedroom is going to be a similar size to what my whole house was before.
What on earth are they talking about? Having the biggest room?
I don't think Evie has any intention of letting me move in with the two of you, though. I'm not going to cause the two of you to have a huge row and be thrown out, am I?
Evie's not like that, Mom. She isn't that cold-hearted. I think she was a bit worried that this would happen, if I'm honest. But she didn't look like she really hated the idea or anything like that.
Oh, really? I was a bit nervous about that because I've already sold the house, you see. If Evie doesn't let me stay, I'll have nowhere else to go. The new place Tom and Kathy moved to is hardly any bigger than where they were living before. It just has an extra room. If I move in with them, all my effort would have been in vain. I'd have to take the extra room, and there'd be 6 of us living there instead of 5, wouldn't there? I'd have made things worse, not better.
I told you, she isn't that kind of person, and you're still going on like that. You don't have anywhere else to live. Do you really think that she'd chuck you out onto the street like that? If you can do something like that, you aren't human. We have enough room and money that you living here won't cause a problem. You have to get something out of all the years you spent bringing me up.
Thank you, Kev. You really are the best. You're being the son that Tom can't be. I'll be able to sleep peacefully now.
What on earth are the two of you up to? Oh, Evie, you made me jump. When did you get back?
Just a minute ago.
Oh, really? Did you happen to hear what we were talking about at all?
No, I couldn't hear exactly what the two of you were saying. I could just hear you talking noisily, that's all. Why? Were you talking about something that you didn't want me to know about?
No, of course not.
Of course we weren't. Why would there be secrets between us? We're family, after all. Why would we be talking about something that we didn't want you to hear? Still, if you had got back, you should have said something. Old people like me could have a heart attack or something from the shock of you suddenly appearing like that, you know.
What are you doing here anyway? It's really late.
Oh, I just had something to talk to Kev about, so I just popped over for a minute, that's all.
What was it that you wanted to talk to him about?
Oh, it's nothing really.
I thought you said that there were no secrets between family. It definitely seems like you're trying to hide something from me.
What? I already told you that that wasn't it. Why do you keep going on about it like this? Anyway, I'd better get going. I didn't realize that it had got so late.
Oh, Mom, wait.
Oh, it's fine. Tom said that he had something to give me, so I was going to go there anyway. I'll be off then. See you soon!
What's going on, Kev? You and Mom are hiding something from me, aren't you?
No, I told you. It's nothing like that. I'll just go and give Mom a lift to Tom's place. It's late and all.
Mom?
Oh, have you finished work now?
What are you doing?
I'm making dinner. What does it look like? Go and wash your hands and let's eat.
Why are you suddenly making dinner here?
Oh, I'll tell you while we're eating.
What is that thing in the porch? It looks like a suitcase.
Oh, let's talk about that over dinner, too. You must be hungry. Go and wash your hands, then we can talk about everything.
Mom, you haven't moved in here with us, have you? I didn't tell you this before, but to be honest, I don't like living with people who are older than me. It makes me feel really uncomfortable, you see. I even found living with my own parents uncomfortable. That's why I decided to move out while I was still relatively young. A lot of girls keep living with their parents until they get married, don't they?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I really hope that's not what's going on here. I don't want to fight with you, you see. I quite like the two of us getting on reasonably well like this.
Oh, Evie, you're back. I see you were talking with Mom.
Yes, I was telling her that I hoped she wasn't thinking about moving in, as living with older people makes me feel really uncomfortable.
What? I didn't know that.
You didn't ask. If you talk about things properly in advance and just don't spring things on people, there are no mistakes or misunderstandings, are there? I saw Mom's suitcase in the doorway, so I thought that I'd better say something before things got even more out of hand.
Evie, the truth is, Mom doesn't have a house anymore. She doesn't have a place to live. So I think she's going to have to stay with us for the time being.
So they were hiding things from me. I knew it. And I knew that she wanted to move in with us. She has been dropping hints about it for ages now, then teasing me for not being able to take a joke. Why doesn't she have a house anymore? What happened to it?
It's my problem, so I'll explain it to you. All of this is my fault.
Your fault? What is?
You must know how Tom and Kathy were living, too. How could anyone live like that in a single room with 3 kids?
Yes, I know how they were living. But what has that got to do with this?
It always made me feel really sorry for them and uncomfortable. When I saw how big your house was, it made me compare how you and Kev were living and how Tom and Kathy were living even more. It just felt really unfair that 5 of them were squashed into that tiny place, while the 2 of you had a giant place like this, you see.
Okay, I can understand how you could feel sorry for them, but I still don't understand what that's got to do with you somehow losing your house and wanting to move in with us.
So I sold my house and gave the money to Tom and Kathy.
You did what?
I gave them the money in the hope that they could get even a slightly bigger place, and told them to move house.
Oh, so that's what the 2 of you were talking about when we all met before. When Kathy said that she was going to get money from somewhere.
Yes, it was.
It was something that I was going to end up involved in, and it concerned me and my house directly. So why did neither of you say anything to me at all?
I'm really sorry about that. I am. Are you going to throw me out? I told you before, Evie is a really kind person. She'd never do anything like that. Would you, Evie?
How could I possibly throw her out? She has nowhere to go.
Oh, really? You mean you aren't going to throw me out, then? See, Mom, I told you that she wouldn't. People with money are a lot more generous too, you see. Oh, thank you so much, Evie. If I knew this was how you were going to react, I'd have told you sooner. Why do you always stare people right in the eyes with such a serious expression on your face, hey? I told you before, the older you get, the more careful you have to be with your heart. That's lucky. If I'd just spoken to you like this to start with, it would have been a lot less stressful. We were really worried, weren't we, Mom? We really were. I can eat my dinner comfortably now, can't I? While we're talking openly about things, Evie, there's one more thing that I wanted to ask you.
What is it? Tell me everything you've been keeping from me.
You know that we're using the big bedroom, aren't we?
Yes, of course. I think we should give it to Mom. It's only right for the oldest person to have the biggest and best room, isn't it? We can sleep closer together in the smaller room. It'll be nice to be closer together, won't it?
Oh, sure.
Right? I thought you'd agree with me like this. I've laid out our blanket in the smaller room. We can order a proper bed in the morning.
Now everything's sorted. Shall we have dinner? Wow, I slept so well last night. Sleeping in such a big, comfy bed makes such a difference. This must be one of the main reasons why people need to make a lot of money.
Good morning, Mom.
Oh, you're up early, aren't you? Were you making breakfast?
No, I wasn't.
You should have made a start on breakfast. We have to eat, you know, even if it is the weekend. You should always eat breakfast, you know. Do you always skip breakfast like this on the weekends? Or don't you eat it during the week either?
We don't usually eat breakfast.
That's really not good. If I don't eat breakfast, I can't do anything and feel tired all day. I'll get something ready quickly today. From tomorrow, make sure that you get something ready for breakfast. It doesn't have to be a feast, but you shouldn't skip it.
You want me to get it?
Of course! Who do you think would make it? The breakfast fairies. You're here. Why should I have to get it?
Maybe because you're the only one who wants to eat it? I don't see why I need to get up early to make you breakfast when I'm not even going to eat it. You should get it yourself, surely. How easy are you expecting to be able to spend your time here, Mom?
Excuse me. What do you mean? Are you saying that I should be uncomfortable in my son's house?
I'm really uncomfortable now that you're living here, too. You can't be the only one who's comfortable. It is my house, after all. We're all going to be uncomfortable. It's only fair. Why is the daughter-in-law the only one who should be uncomfortable? That isn't fair and doesn't make sense at all, especially when we're all living in the house that my parents bought me.
What did you say?
There was something that I couldn't say to you yesterday after being hit with a bombshell like that. I couldn't think, you see. If you're going to live here with us, you have to sort out your own things yourself. Be it breakfast, housework, spending money, or anything else for that matter. Unless we feel like giving you a present or something, of course. You aren't allowed to give us presents just to get something in return, or being too kind to try to get what you want either.
What? What on earth are you talking about? Do you think this is the army or something? Or are you trying to make things difficult for me like this on purpose so that I'll leave on my own accord?
You're quick, aren't you? That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Pardon?
I don't think you have any intention in listening to anything I say. If you want to live comfortably, being waited on hand and foot, I suggest you go and live at Tom and Kathy's place. You said that no one could be as good a daughter-in-law as Kathy was, after all. I'm not like that, so I am not going to be running around after you being the daughter-in-law that you want.
How do you think that just because you have a bit of money that you can treat me like this?
You're the one who treated me badly to start with. I told you that I really don't want to fall out with you when you were joking about moving in here before, didn't I?
What's going on in here? What are you two doing?
Oh, Kev. She's trying to make life here difficult for me so that I'll move out of my own accord.
Pardon? What do you mean? Is this true, Evie?
Mom was already expecting me to make breakfast and run around after her when we don't even usually eat breakfast, you see.
Even so, you have to be polite to your elders, don't you? You can't just act like that towards my mom.
I thought you would stick up for her like that. I was about to say that if you don't like the way that I'm acting towards your mom, you can leave too. Now you've got up, I can tell you what I wanted to as well. The two of you can hold hands and leave together.
What?
They do say that there are lots of strange people in the world, don't they?
I've packed yours and your mom's bags and put them by the door.
What do you mean, packed our bags?
Oh, my stuff! Where's my bag gone? It was right here!
Go out and have a look. I couldn't sleep a wink last night, I was so mad. So I packed all your and Kev's stuff and put it out by the door. Why don't the two of you go and have a look?
You really have lost your mind.
Why is all of my stuff out there?
Mom, I'll carry it back in for you. What have you done? Evie, open the door.
Oh my! What What does she think she's doing? Has she kicked us out? Just like that?
Yes, I have. I don't want to feel uncomfortable in my own house, you see. But the two of you made me uncomfortable. So as the house owner, it is only right that I get rid of what it is that's making me feel uncomfortable, isn't it?
Evie, let's at least try to talk about this, hey?
You don't want to sort anything out. You just want to somehow convince me that you're right and that the two of you can stay, don't you?
How can you do something like this? This isn't fair.
I'm going to go and get some rest now, so the two of you had better be off.
Evie!
Hello?
You rotten little witch! Do you think you'll be able to live comfortably now that you've kicked us out like this?
I'm feeling much better already, now that you mention it.
However could an evil cow like you manage to wiggle her way into my family like that? You aren't going to hear the last of this, you know. I'm not going to let you live graciously with my son anymore.
I thought you would say that, so I'm going to just leave him as well.
What do you mean?
Can you pass a message on to Kev for me? Tell him I want a divorce.
Pardon? A divorce?
I don't want to spend the rest of my life with people who make my life unpleasant, you see. You only live once, after all, don't you? Did you really think I'd risk being unhappy just to keep this marriage going?
Hey! Have you quite finished?
Yes, I have. I'm going to hang up now. Bye!
I can't believe her. I really can't. She says what she wanted to and just hangs up.
In the end, we got a divorce. Mom, Kev, and Kathy all used me for my money and deceived me by saying they were joking when they talked about us all moving in together and things like that. There's only so much a person can put up with, though. I was trying to make sure that my husband and his mom could live comfortably, but instead of being grateful for that, they just got greedy and wanted and expected more and more. They thought that if Mom just turned up at our place and said that she had nowhere else to go, that I'd just let her stay, even without discussing it at all beforehand. That's where they were wrong. What reason did I have to live like that, just putting up with all their nonsense? Hello?
Evie.
Oh, it's you.
How are you doing? Are you doing okay?
Yes, I'm doing really well.
Oh, I see.
Why have you suddenly called me like this?
The thing is, I was wondering, couldn't we just get back together again? Go back to how things used to be between us?
What on earth are you talking about? I'm going to hang up.
No, don't hang up, please. I nearly died, you know.
What do you mean?
I broke my arm.
Oh, really?
What? Aren't you even a bit worried about me? Kathy broke my arm.
Well, I guess you must have done something to deserve it then, hadn't you? You better try to behave yourself if you don't want her to break the other one as well, haven't you?
I need somewhere safe and quiet to recover. Can I just stay with you at yours until my arm gets better?
I'm actually quite doubtful that you didn't break your arm by yourself on purpose to try to get back into my house, you know.
No, I didn't, I swear. Kathy broke it. Even though Mom sold her house, she didn't get much for it, so all that Tom and Kathy could afford was a tiny place. There are still only 2 rooms as well. There are 7 of us living here now.
It sounds very nice and cozy. You should think yourself lucky that you have anywhere to live at all.
Nice. Lucky. There are only 2 rooms, so I'm sleeping in the living room.
Oh, that's good. You've got the biggest room in the house then, haven't you?
Don't be ridiculous. Tom, Kathy, and the kids are in the bigger room. Mom's in the smaller one on her own, and I've been left to live in the living room. Every night the others keep standing on me on their way to the bathroom. I can't sleep a wink. I think Kathy even does it on purpose.
I guess she doesn't want you there either, does she? I can't say I blame her.
They definitely want me and Mom out. They keep looking at us and whispering amongst themselves and making comments. I'm having a really hard time here, you know.
What do you expect me to do about it? You made your bed. Now you have to lie in it. Why do I have to listen to your sob story anyway? Evie, I miss you, and I miss living with you. I have my own home gym, and we lived in a huge house. I really miss it. Well, you should have thought about all of that when you lived here with me. I'll be better from now on, I promise. Just give me one more chance. I'll make it all up to you. Please. People make mistakes. Yes, you're right, they do. That's what all of this was, a mistake. But I can't live with someone who can make huge mistakes like that. I don't give second chances to people who try to mess up my life like you did. Evie, please. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was wrong for letting Mom move in with us, especially without talking to you about it beforehand.
Kev, do you know what time it is? This house is already small and noisy enough without you making phone calls in the middle of the night. You've already woken me. You'll wake the children if you aren't careful.
I'm really sorry, Kathy. I'll try to be quieter.
I hate having you here in this house. You're driving me up the wall.
Evie, please, I'm begging you. I can't live like this anymore.
I told you were being noisy, didn't I? Be quiet. If you're going to cry, cry quietly into your pillow or something. Got it?
Yes. Sorry, Kathy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.